So is the KTM 890 Adventure R really worth the money? Well, that's what we're going to get into today. First off though, I got a new camera, Insta360, so we're just going to set that up. And then, I'll get some cool shots while we chat stuff. So is the KTM 890 Adventure R really worth the money? And that, my friends, is totally your decision, because it depends on a few things. What you ride, what you expect, and what you enjoy. Now the reason I say these things is because it's just going to take you back a little bit and go through a few things. So obviously I'm an enduro rider. I love enduro, I love the mountains. But I wanted to like explore a little bit more. So in my head I thought, oh, the adventure bike, you know. My first perception of the adventure bike was that they're for old people. And not old people, I mean like older people. And that is the perception this kind of sport has. But I was like, okay, you can go off-road on these things. You can also go on the road. So you can go on the road to get to the trails and do the trails and then carry on. Because on the 300 two-stroke, you can't ride that on the road for a very long time. It's a two-stroke, it sounds like it wants to blow up all the time. So I bought one. I bought the 2022 KTM 890 Adventure R. Now there is a downside to buying a brand new KTM Adventure R. The downsides are this. Number one, it's £12,500. Yeah, that's right, £12,500. And also, you don't get the tech pack with it. And what the tech pack does is it gives you the rally mode and all these extra little modes you can get. And why that is good is because when you put it in rally mode, it's an absolute animal, and it turns off all the ABS, traction control, all that kind of stuff. Now, if you want the tech pack added on, you have to pay about £800. £800 extra on top of your £12,500 brand new bike. It doesn't come with it, so KTM, you're very, very naughty. Very naughty. So those are the two, I'd say, expense downsides when it comes to the bike. Now, for me it's okay because I like enduro, I do like the adventure bike, so I have options. I have an enduro bike for when I want to do hard enduro stuff, and I have the adventure bike for when I go adventuring. Now if you are not in a financial position where you can have two bikes to do the things you love, then you're going to be in a bit of a predicament. The reason is, you just can't have one bike that does everything good. So with the adventure bike, I want to do some off-road, but there's a lot of road to get to the off-road. Which means I have to kind of sacrifice tires in that respect. So I can't get really good off-road tires to see what this bike is really capable of. Because if I put off-road tires on it, I'm going to ruin them on the road to get to the off-road trails. So you kind of have to, I don't know, get like a 50-50 tire or something like that. So it wears down all right on the road and it works all right off-road. So you either put off-road tires on it and it'll be really good off-road, or you put on-road tires and it'll be really good on the road. But in order to do kind of both okay, you have to sacrifice the tires, so it'll never do both things really well with the setup you can have on these, unless you have like transport to take it off-road or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of a big issue for people looking to buy these bikes, because they're so expensive. You have to make that decision of, am I going to do enduro riding or motocross riding or adventure bike riding? It's kind of like you have to pick one. Since buying this bike, I've realized it's definitely not for old people. It's actually so much fun. Damn, it's windy. It's definitely so much fun. It's just I feel like it targets the older generation because of the price point. It's a lot of money. A lot of people retire and just want to go adventuring the world or whatever. I like to have fun. So I put a new exhaust on it, the Arrow exhaust and the Decat, and that sounds so much better. The suspension on this thing is really nice. The seat's nice. I've actually put a lowered seat on it, but you can travel on these all day, every day. It's really super comfortable. It's got a bark on it. It's an 890, so it does chew up the road a bit. So my tires already have worn down. I've done 1,000 miles. It's already worn down. So as you can see, I got the new Arrow exhaust here with the Decat link pipe in there, and that was quite expensive. I think that was like 600 quid for the pack, but the bike just sounds electric when you buy it. It doesn't sound very beefy. Obviously 1,000 miles on the tyres, you can already see starting to wear quite a lot, so that's quite annoying, but I guess it's just road bikes for you. The bike itself, I actually really like it. It's just £12,500, so let's just get into that a little bit more. So £12,500 is a lot of money. I don't know what it will be in your country, but it's 12,500 British pounds, which is a lot of money it is a big lump of bike, and you can buy them second hand. So my issue has been, every single time I look in the garage and I have a decision of what bike I want to ride, I'll always go for the enduro bike. Always. Like sometimes I'll jump on this when no one's riding and I've got nothing to do, which is one of the reasons why I bought this bike. I got a little bit like bored when everyone else wasn't riding. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I didn't really like riding on my own, just in case I get hurt. So I'd usually go to like an enduro event by myself, things like that. So I thought I'd buy an adventure bike so I can go out, hit the roads, hit the green lanes, and just go and explore, really. Like this. This is the reason this is the reason for that, that's the reason for this. You know, it's all good. But I always find myself choosing the enduro bike over the adventure bike. So when I look at it, it's a lot of money just sitting there for something that I don't really feel like riding. Which is crazy when I think about it. I do love this bike, like, don't get me wrong, I do love this bike. But like I said, I would just choose the enduro bike over this any day of the week. But if it comes to what your decision is going to be, if you are looking for an adventure bike, the KTM 890R is amazing. It's my first ever adventure bike. It's lightweight, it's really nimble in the off-road sections, so I would 100% advise you to go this direction, unless you wanted something like a Tenere, or they're all kind of the same really. But this has been an awesome bike for me. If you are like me and you ride enduro a lot, and you've seen some adventure bike videos and you think, oh, I might get into that, just know the cost is quite a lot. All the aftermarket parts for an adventure bike is more expensive. You're looking tyres, I had to put a lowered seat on it, baggage, panniers, new headlights. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so just know that's what you're going to be looking into. So my conclusion for this adventure bike, my 2022 KTM 890 Adventure R, is I think I'm going to sell it. What's up? Yeah, I think it's time that I'm just going to sell it. I don't really ride it. I've done a couple of adventures on it. I've absolutely loved it. Maybe I'll get a cheaper one in the future, but for now I think this has got to go back and maybe bring either some, for the price this is, I can bring more bikes to the channel, or I can get a new bike. I just think it's better for myself to keep things interesting, and yeah, they're fun, but just kind of not for me right now. In the future, yes. So yeah, if anyone wants to buy a 2022 KTM 890 Adventure R with about 1,000 miles on it and it's mega, DM me on Instagram. Drop me a message. I'll probably just sit here waiting for someone to DM me because it's actually quite beautiful. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Ride safe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.